So thanks everyone for joining us, and welcome to the Open Web Foundry V4 Demo Day. It's been 6, 7, I think even, incredible weeks during the Foundry program where people have been building these amazing projects on top of the PermaWeb, fully decentralized web applications. And I'm super excited that we can share 10 of these projects with you today. So I think looking through the batch this time, the thing that excites me most about the whole ecosystem at this point is how while there are many interesting things happening in the rest of crypto in the kind of DeFi and NFT space, and there is some of that here, what you find in this batch is that there are many, many completely novel concepts that you won't find even discussed anywhere else in the crypto ecosystem right now. And not only are these concepts anymore, but these teams have built them out into fully fledged products that are ready to be deployed in the market and to grow, which is so exciting to see. So without further ado, I'd like to throw it over to Seb, who will be taking you through the rest of the demo day experience. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thanks, Sam. And yeah, again, thank you very much, everyone that's joining us. Thank you to all the founders that worked super hard. We have 10 super exciting projects that are going to be presenting their work with you. Remember, the Open Web Foundry is a program that's dedicated to taking an idea to an MVP, and your MVP to basically to the market, and all of that in the span of 6 to 7 weeks. And what you're about to see are projects that basically were all created during during this 6-week period. So it's incredibly exciting. You'll see afterwards, after the demos are over, you'll find the specific tables for each of the teams outside of the sort of coffee and mingle area, where you can then interact with them, ask questions, and hopefully also help them grow and join their communities or participate in any other shape or form. What you'll see, these are very different projects, but you'll find a common thread, and that is that all of them are passionate about decentralization, and all of them are passionate about Arweave. So enough about Sam and I. Let's just kick things off. Dan, why don't you come to the stage? We're going to kick things off with Dan from MyMail, who will tell us about decentralized email on the PermaWeb. So, hey, Dan, how's it going, man?
Hey, Seb, it's going great. Excited to present.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And we can also see your slides, so take it away, man.
All right. Hey, I'm DMAC, and this is MyMail, a protocol for extending email to the PermaWeb. So what happens if I lose access to my email? If you're like me, you've had a Gmail account from as far back as you can remember. For me, that's about 200,000 messages and 14 years of history. Sorry, Sam, I can hear you typing. That's about, and 14 years of history. It's amazing how much of our history is recorded in our email. So photos of your kid's first birthday that were sent to you by your grandma, who for some reason still use email for that stuff, invoices for clients, deliverables from teammates. You might have even stored some of your passwords in there, which you probably shouldn't have. Just think about all the apps and sites that you've been to that you've used your email address for password recovery. If I lost access to my email, I would lose access to a lot of information. And it turns out it's not even that uncommon to lose access to your Gmail. It happens all the time for a variety of reasons. And the scary thing is, a lot of people may not know this, but Gmail doesn't offer support for personalized email because it's a free service. So that means if you get cut off, then there's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to help you out. So this seems like a major flaw in the system. But the question is this inevitable? Does email have to be this way? No, it's designed this way because centralized email have a profit motive. So why is it designed this way? Good question. So in order for Google to offer a free email service, they have to extract value from their users in other ways. And one of the ways they do that is they track your behavior across the web and mobile, and they sell it to advertisers on a real-time ad marketplace. And because this isn't functionality that anyone would want from their email provider, Google has to make it difficult for you to leave once you've signed up. If you were able to easily migrate your data off Google, you might choose to do so. And the quality of their ad marketplace would decline, as would their profits. So how do we fix it? First of all, we need to unbundle the components of centralized email that and make them and make it profitable for them to operate on your behalf. More importantly than that, we need to put you in charge of your identity and your data and just eliminate that as a point of failure entirely. So we take your data and we encrypt it and we store it permanently on the Arweave network. For your identity, we give you cryptographic keys that no one can revoke or remove access to or take away in any way, and they give you access to your data in perpetuity. For inbox service, MyMail introduces the idea of MyMail gateways, or email gateways. Email gateways are servers which translate emails from Arweave and to the internet and vice versa, and anyone can operate one. Operators are incentivized to offer this service because they receive small transaction fees every time they handle an email. One of the interesting side effects of this is that because your identity is not your email address with MyMail, you can change your email address at any time, or your domain. So if you were not a Ninja 69 when you were 12, you're not obligated to use that email address on your resume when you're 25. For domain names, instead of having a centralized corporate branded domain name, MyMail supports many domain names owned by community members staked in the MyMail protocol. So we've developed an app, MyMail app, to demonstrate these components working together. But it's our intention that other applications, messaging applications on the Arweave network would be able to integrate it easily as well. And because MyMail is an open protocol for on-chain messaging, email is really the first of many applications. Being able to send direct messages between wallet addresses is an obvious use. And we've actually had devs reach out to us who are building their own wallets and wanting to integrate MyMail. Along the same lines, social networks, you'll hear later from a social network called Argora. Imagine receiving a DM from a user on Argora and being able to see that message in your wallet and in your inbox. These are the kind of synergies that are possible when you have an open messaging protocol and on-chain messaging. So let's do a demo. So right off the bat, you sign in with your identity. You can see that you have some on-chain messages that were sent by other wallet addresses, but we're really here to see email. So let's sign into the gateway. I've got an account admin at pixelsamurai.com. As soon as we connect to the gateway, we can see that our inbox is populated with email messages that are waiting for us at the gateway. We've got our on-chain messages there. And it's not just text email. This is full, rich HTML formatted email. So let's send a message through the gateway. So for this demo, we'll send a message to my Gmail, somewhat ironically, and send it off. So hop over to my personal Gmail and see if we can see that message arrive. It's already here. All right. So yeah, let's keep the conversation going. Sweet. What's it about? Send it back to MyMail. So the interesting thing about messages stored at the gateway, you have 90 days to decide what to do with them. You can either save them to Arweave or let them expire. Not all email messages deserve to be stored forever. So here comes our reply back from Gmail. Sweet, what's it about? Read receipts, goes to previously seen, just like any other email client. And that's it. That is email on the PermaWeb supported by MyMail. So in review, MyMail protocol. You own your data permanently. You can change your email address at any time. There's no tracking. No one's incentivized to do that. And this is really a superpower of the PermaWeb. Because your data is associated with your identity and you own that completely, if you sign into another application, your data is immediately available. This just destroys lock-in, meaning that you can move to the best user experience whenever you want. So of course, centralized email is free, but with MyMail protocol, you pay tiny amounts to store the email. So we've had to overcome a bunch of technical hurdles to get this far to the proof of concept. We were hoping to do an early adopter launch with 30 or so people, but there's been so much interest in it, we've already got that list full. So if you want to check out MyMail, the next chance to do so is probably our beta launch. And if you want to hear about that, the best way to do it is to follow us on Twitter at MyMail Protocol. And yeah, I'll be out in the coffee and mingle area afterwards. Anyone who wants to talk about the future of MyMail or has any questions, I'd love to talk to you. And that's my pitch.
Awesome. Thank you very much, DMAC. It's amazing. I had the opportunity of using it already. receiving a couple of emails from you directly from MyMail. Super cool. Thank you very much again for presenting. Alrighty, next up we have David. David is going to present to us DeChat. DeChat is a censorship-resistant global communication or global discussion platform that's powered by the PermaWeb. So, David, how's it going, man? You there, friend?
Great. Sorry, I had a keyboard issue.
No worries. We can see your slides. So, if you want, you can get started.
Thank you. Okay, hello, my name is David Choi, and my demo is on DeChat. DeChat is a censorship-resistant global discussion platform. By now, we are all familiar with the two big problems of current social media. First, platforms like Twitter and Facebook have the power to unilaterally take down posts and ban accounts. Earlier this year, for example, they were able to censor the President of the United States. Regardless of our political stance, it's clear that the power these social media giants have has great potential for misuse. Second, while we, the users, create all the content, we capture little to none of the value we generate for the platforms. This is why I built DeChat. DeChat is a censorship-resistant discussion platform where content curation is left entirely to the individual user, and each user gets rewarded for their valuable contributions to the platform. So how does it work? DeChat users can create an account with their Arweave wallet, build a profile, and connect with other users. Whenever they post something, the message is stored on Arweave permanently and then displayed on their feed or timeline and is visible to their followers. If users don't want to see specific content, they can easily block it from their feed, but crucially, DeChat won't be able to delete the messages or profiles of its users. Let me list what has been built thus far. Login and registration, account-based posting, following of accounts, likes, resends, responses, sharing to social media, a React-based UI, and it's built 100% entirely on Arweave with no proprietary servers. So I'll give you a quick demo of the app in action. And before I kick it off, let me just set things up for you. On the bottom right, we have John. And John is being followed by David up here on the upper right. And then on the left, we have Linda, who is following both John and David. Let's take a look. So first, John posts a message. And then because David is following John, he'll be able to see the message, share in his other social media, like, resend, or respond. In this case, he's going to respond. And then because Linda is following both John and David, she'll be able to see both messages. So DeChat also makes sure to reward users for the content they create. Thanks to Arweave's profit-sharing tokens, we'll be able to share earnings of the app with content creators. Basically, it works by having all users post a small stake of PST for using the application. As new tokens are emitted on the network, some of those tokens will go to content creators for their work. Once new token emission ends, we will move stake tokens into a yield farm, and then this yield will be used to fund further development and pay content creators. So where are we now? In 6 weeks, I've built everything that you saw in the demo. It's all currently hosted on Arweave and it all works, which means that the MVP is near completion. The next phase will be about integrating with Network and creating an indexing and caching server, together with search engine integration. The server will provide functionality like search and caching for results like most liked posts and most followed users. Once these two phases are complete, the app will be released as a beta so that we can test user behavior and the functionality. Subsequent to that, in 2022, there will be NFT functionality for further monetization of both. If you want to sign up to try our beta, my email is admin@dchat.app, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks.
Thank you very much, David. I think that we had a couple of technical problems before, but they seem to be working again. But regardless of this, sometimes it's a pretty well attended event. So regardless of this, we'll have the presentations up on YouTube probably the next week. But anyway, all right. Thank you very much, David. That's great. Next up, I would like to introduce to you Yleaf. And we don't necessarily think very often about all the steps that are necessary between you clicking something on Amazon or somewhere else and it getting shipped from overseas, perhaps in a container. There's a multitude of different steps that are required there, and it's not always easy. So Yleaf is going to take us through all those hurdles and how Arweave and Traxa are working towards fixing some of those problems. So Yleaf, how's it going, man?
Doing really well, Seb. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yes, and we can see your site, so feel free to take it away.
Hi, I'm Yleaf with the Traxa team. Traxa is a crowdsourced global database of the locations of intermodal shipping containers. Anyone can use our mobile app to take a picture of a shipping container, mint an NFT, and be rewarded with tokens. Every year, tens of millions of intermodal shipping containers crisscross the Earth, traveling along sea routes, transitioning to land, and moving on trucks to their destinations. Within sophisticated ports and storage facilities, containers are tracked with high-speed cameras and other expensive tech. But once they leave these areas, nobody knows where they are. Containers are lost every day, adding up to billions in losses per year. And why is this? You might think that the supply chain is digitized and you can locate containers as easily as you can find your iPhone. But in reality, it's a complex system of routes handled by different companies, each with their own siloed databases. In fact, the truckers and ship captains are themselves independent contractors. There's no overarching view of how containers move. Supply chain has been talked about as a great use case for the blockchain for a long time. And IBM and shipping giants like Maersk have been trying to create a shared ledger. But they only work with data that is already digitized. They don't help track the containers during the majority of their journey, which is outside the endpoints. This all changes with the blockchain infrastructure provided by Arweave. We can now create a decentralized and immutable ledger that can be a unifying layer for different systems, providing a permanent record available to anyone. And the profit-sharing tokens available on Arweave are the perfect way to distribute ownership in Traxa to those who help create and maintain the network. Using profit-sharing tokens, Traxa incentivizes individuals to participate in updating our global ledger by tagging containers and container locations as easily as taking a picture. Truckers, yard workers, ship captains, and other individuals can help to update the data and be compensated for doing so. Let's see how it works. When you first launch the app, we show you a short tutorial to walk you through the process. Traxa makes it incredibly easy for anyone to update the location of a shipping container. Just snap a photo and the app does the rest. And then behind the scenes, we have an AI service that validates the container, mints the NFT, gets the GPS and container ID, and writes the information. You can see the resulting image here, the Arweave record, and then the short video clip that's stored. What we're doing is we're building a two-sided marketplace for container location information. We will sell this information to third-party logistics companies and insurance providers. We're starting by working on the supply side with an app for end users, and we're going to use token incentives to get coverage for the areas where today's information systems don't track the container information. Finally, we're going to build a metered API to charge for easy access to this valuable data. As for us, we're veterans of logistics and IoT. More importantly, we're building a worldwide community and a DAO that brings together the IP, the manpower, and the financial resources to bring positive change to the intermodal global supply chain. On the one hand, we are degens, but on the other hand, we really believe in using the tools of the blockchain, NFTs, and DeFi to solve real-world problems. We've been working incredibly hard over the past few weeks to get this alpha version of our app ready, and we're happy to announce that it's available to use today on Android. If you or someone you know works in the logistics industry, or if you know people working with intermodal shipping containers, come talk to us after the presentations. And we're really excited to announce that we are launching a campaign to get 500 containers scanned within the next month. Visit mvp.traxa.io to get started. With that, thank you so much. Come find us on Discord and Twitter. And I'd like to say thank you to the members of our Discord community who've been working really hard to put this together. Chris Crypto, FireMonkey, Marplex, Usama, and also to all of the Open Web Foundry advisors with Arweave. We couldn't have done it without you. And to the rest of you out there, we're looking for the truckers, longshoremen, and everyday people passionate about logistics. See you out on the road.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Wiley. That was really interesting and a really cool application for Arweave for sure. All right, next up we have Peter. Peter is going to talk to us about Ricardian agreements stored on Arweave. So Peter, how's it going? How are you?
Hi. Yeah, going good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're excited to learn about Ricardian Fabric. Yep. We can see the slides, so go for it, man.
Cool. So hello, my name is Peter Horvath. I created Ricardian Fabric, which allows the creation of on-chain agreements. So the problem, there is no safety belt in DeFi. Smart contracts are not applicable by law. The world of legal documents and blockchain are not connected. Stable coins can go off the peg, their backing changes, and there is no legal grip on this problem. Crypto is forever, but the agreements behind it are not. My project deploys interactive Ricardian contracts as websites on Arweave that can be tightly connected to smart contracts. Ricardian contracts represent agreements between an issuer and a participant, and the proof of this agreement is stored permanently. By connecting legal documents to blockchain, we open up to a new market. We can comply better with regulation, companies can participate in DeFi, and we can create new financial instrument markets. You can find the MVP on ricardianfabric.com. The next following slides show how Ricardian Fabric works. You can type the contents of the agreement contained in the Ricardian contract and save it on Arweave. You can share the created contract with people you are ready to make agreements with. When the contract is accepted and the agreement is made, there is a permanent proof of it. This is a simple mechanism. Innovation is about simple things. The aim is to gain traction in the following client base. Legal companies who wish to use public blockchains are expected to be the majority of the users. Affiliate marketing strategy will be deployed to allow CEO companies and independent marketers to join who may bring their own clients, and independent developers who wish to protect themselves in case of hacks or software bugs. The MVP is already deployed. It's called Ricardian Fabric Lite. Visit ricardianfabric.com to find the link. The next goals are, till October, I intend to have the landing page, know your customer, anti-money laundering services, and backend for off-chain data. This is the secret sauce. Payments, fees, and an affiliate program for marketing is expected to be worked out till November. In the future, we want to focus on financial instruments and derivatives that can be implemented on top of legal agreements. The project is looking for more team members located in Europe so we can meet periodically and establish a physical location. We're looking for developers, marketers, and staff who understand the vision and wishes to contribute to the crypto industry as a whole. Please visit ricardianfabric.com to see the MVP and find the button to join my Discord server. This is a very new project developed entirely for the Open Web Foundry. Please message me at admin@ricardianfabric.com to schedule a meeting, and come to me now after the presentation and feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Peter. That was great. Up next, we have Joe from AFTRMarket. AFTRMarket is a treasury management tool designed specifically for Arweave's profit sharing tokens. So if you're a profit sharing token holder, or if you're minting a profit sharing token, this will be pretty interesting and relevant to you. So, hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey, Seb, doing well. Thanks.
Yeah, excited?
Yep, excited to be here.
Okay, cool. So are we, and we can see your slides, so take it away.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Berenbaum, and my project is called AFTRMarket, as Seb said. Billions of dollars flow through treasuries and other ecosystems. However, treasury management and multi-sig protocols don't exist here on the PermaWeb, and AFTRMarket changes this. All right, so in a nutshell, here are all the important highlights to know about After. First, After at its core is a smart contract that custodies and manages groups of tokens. Second, After is a Lego brick, a foundation that can be built on top of. Any project that needs to group, encapsulate, slice, or manage tokens is potentially a use case. And third, After is a powerful token model that you as a token holder will be excited to hear about. We'll dig into this in a bit. We started After with the intent to provide tools to design vehicles to redirect flows from profit-sharing tokens. In just a few short weeks, a handful of use cases have already been identified in discussions with folks in the ecosystem. But let's walk through one specific case that could be pretty interesting. Let's say Sam owns a treasury of Arweave funds. That's probably a pretty good bet, right, Sam? So because the treasury is holding profit-sharing tokens, there's a good chance that profit streams from these tokens across the Arweave ecosystem are flowing into his treasury. So with that said, let's say Sam only wants his treasury to hold the 4 tokens, I don't know, Koi, Verto, R-Drive, and maybe some wrapped R. So he configures his After vehicle to rebalance to these 4 tokens, and After automatically rebalances to his preferred allocation. So this example is just one mechanism that After can be used for. As I mentioned, the After token model is powerful because it not only generates tips from any new vehicle created, it also generates R for other activities managed on the AFTR.market site. So as an After token holder, you'll receive tips for any new vehicle created. You'll also receive R on any management conducted on the AFTRMarket site, which is pretty cool because you're getting an index of anything created on the marketplace in addition to more R. Who doesn't want more R these days? All right, so let's see it in action. Here's the AFTRMarket site. To create a treasury, we call them vehicles. You start here. Creating a vehicle is where you configure the rules of your treasury. You can specify how many tokens to mint, whether the vehicle will have a single owner or is DAO owned. This is important because DAO owned vehicles will require votes to approve changes. Here you can add tokens directly from your wallet and add DAO members as well. We'll give the creator 1,000 tokens to start here. Let's take a quick look at a vehicle once it's created. Let's check out the Chillin' Treasury. If certain rules are met, you can edit the vehicle here. In this case, you must post votes. And just like during configuration, you can add members and add tokens at any time. Future enhancements will include the ability to lease tokens so that leasees can earn the profit streams from those tokens. And also the ability to temporarily loan tokens to the treasury for a period of time. Today, we currently have 1 beta customer confirmed, and I've spoken with 2 others showing interest. And that's it for the demo. Thanks for your time today. I'd love to chat with you at the booth. I'm typically on the East Coast, but I'll be in San Francisco here for a week, so I'm open to setting up something here as well. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Super excited. And you can see by the reactions in the chat, so are other folks. So yeah, thank you very much for that presentation, Joe. Really, really cool. All right, next up, we have Akil. Akil is going to be presenting us the solution to enable PSTs to be able to used across different chains. So, hey, Akil, how are you?
Hi, Sebastian. Everything's going great.
Awesome. All right, well, we can see your slides, so go for it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Akil, and I'm here to present Dojima.Network, a cross-chain interoperability protocol that enables interactions between Arweave and other chains. These are very exciting times for the Arweave ecosystem. The number of applications built on Arweave is booming, and there are a lot of profit-sharing tokens being issued right now. But these are still early days, and some of the popular DeFi use cases that we see on other chains aren't available for Arweave yet. For example, you can't yet directly exchange PSTs for tokens in other chains like USDT or ETH. You also can't use your PSTs as collateral in DeFi lending applications like Compound or Aave. Even interactions with DeFi applications are not yet possible with PSTs. By enabling cross-chain interactions, the Dojima.Network allows for any PST to be directly exchanged with tokens from other chains, which will be very helpful for the adoption efforts of any Arweave-based projects, as users will now be able to easily get hold of PST tokens needed to interact with PST applications. To make things more awesome, we also created an EVM-based buffer zone with bridges to all major chains, where novel DeFi applications can be built around PSTs, further increasing their appeal and use. Let's see a simple example of how this all works. If you're a PST holder and want to exchange PSTs to USDT, the first thing you need to do is connect your Arconnect and MetaMask wallets to Dojima.Network. Next, you'll specify how many PSTs you want to exchange. Our deposit contract will take the PST amount from your balance and then mint the same amount over in the buffer chain, and the PSTs will appear on your MetaMask wallet. You can now connect your MetaMask to any decentralized exchange and use it to get USDT. And you'll follow the same easy procedure if you want to use your PSTs on lending platforms like Aave, with derivative services like Synthetics, or with DEXs like SushiSwap. And here is how it looks in practice. I'm connecting my Arconnect. You can see the connected wallet address at the top. If you observe the sender and receiver fields, the sender address is connected to Arweave testnet, and the receiver address is connected to Dojima testnet. I've already connected my MetaMask wallet, and you can see my PST balance there is 0. Now, let's take some PST tokens from Arweave testnet over to Dojima testnet. Let's take 100. You can see that these are now minted in our testnet. And now, they'll be available in my MetaMask wallet. Now let's swap those PSTs with USDT using a DEX. For this example, we've configured the price of one PST to be equal to one USDT. When I click on swap, you can see below the swap is being conducted. Let's give it a little time. Yeah, and once completed, there's a success message on the bottom left. If you now go to my MetaMask wallet, you can see my PST balance there is 0 and my USDT balance is 99.1. And to confirm, let's go to our own block explorer to see the top 3 transactions we have conducted. And you can see them there, the top 3 transactions all successfully conducted. Until now, cross-chain interoperability infrastructure is mainly enabled between EVM-based chains, but Dojima's architecture allows us to bridge to any blockchain infrastructure. For this, we rely on 2 types of tokens. One is Dojima token called Doj, and the other is the bridge token specific to the chain, in this case, for the Arweave bridge. Dojima.Network is powered by proof-of-stake-based decentralized group of validators. The Doj token powers all transactions on Dojima.Network. Doj is also the staking token for running a validator node. And we've set the current validator limit on the system as 100 validators. So this is about the cross-chain infrastructure we've built. Now, when it comes to Artbridge, which is the bridging layer between Arweave ecosystem and Dojima.Network, its governance need to be taken care from parent chain, which is Arweave. So we are creating a PST named ARP to control bridge parameters, as well as handling whitelisting of PST tokens for cross-chain transfer. The ARP token supply will be capped at 10 million tokens, and the fees collected from Artbridge users will be distributed among ARP token holders. So this is what's next on our roadmap. In Q3, we managed to build the Arweave and the EVM bridge, so the buffer chain synchronizes with Arweave's network. We also grew our team from 2 to 5 members. So in Q4, we will launch the testnet with bridges to all major chains. And Q1 of next year will be all about releasing and integrating third-party tooling to simplify cross-chain deployment. Finally, in Q2 of 2022, the testnet phase will be complete, and we'll focus solely on successful mainnet launch and quick adoption by onboarding dApps and cross-chain protocols to Dojima. Coming to the team, Bhagat and I are the founders of Dojima.Network. I've been a blockchain developer for the last 2 years and worked on robust tech projects in the field of AI before that. Bhagat has been a full-stack developer with over 4 years of experience in Fortune 500 IT. And we have a strong tech team covering the whole spectrum of technologies. We're working super hard to launch the testnet. So if you want to keep up to date, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Even better, sign up to be a beta tester and participate in future airdrops and bounties. Thank you for your attention, and come chat with us in the Mingle area. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome, Akio. That was really, really cool. Well presented and super interesting concept. Make sure to talk to Akio after all the presentations. Alrighty. Next up, I mean, if you've been paying attention to the Arweave ecosystem at all, you'll know that NFTs are all the rage on Arweave. So next up, we have Matej and Victor from PermaFrost. And what they're doing is basically trying to improve the overall developer experience for NFT platforms building on Arweave. So, hey guys, how's it going?
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah, cool. Great. All right. Well, we can see your slides. Why don't you kick it off, Matej?
Yeah, so welcome everyone. My name is Matej, and I'm a co-founder of the NFT marketplace. And today I will talk about the NFT metadata and why we need the proper solution based on the Arweave's permanent storage. The PermaFrost is a thin protocol layer on top of the Arweave, with a focus on the developer experience to drive more NFT metadata on the Arweave. Like the batteries included and a handful of endpoints for faster implementation of NFT marketplaces on top of the Arweave. What are the current problems with the NFT metadata? Most of the NFT metadata is stored on the IPFS or even centralized servers, and none of these solutions offers permanent storage. In general, it means that whenever the servers goes down or your credit card pinata expires, you will not see the images anymore. And when you try to host IPFS service by yourself, it only adds overhead to your developer process. Either way, you can have a fragile infrastructure or super high bill for the IPFS for pinning your metadata on each continent. We know this firsthand since we struggled with this for our own NFT marketplace. Imagine getting an NFT worth like 100 ETH, and in next week you realize that NFT is not there anymore, just empty on-chain hash or link pointing to nowhere. What a pity. So as a responsible NFT platform, you end up thinking about storing everything on the Arweave. But once you arrive there, you might be scratching your head on how to implement the Arweave correctly to store and read metadata on your NFT marketplace. You can use IPFS to Arweave, a simple solution. We did ourselves, but then when we realized that it won't be sponsored by Arweave forever, thus us having sustainable integration would be more than welcome. This is why we build the PermaFrost. With the PermaFrost, we are targeting the critical part of the developer experience on the Arweave, which takes it to the next level. We store metadata on their behalf with the simple data points, adding read endpoints, search options for deep integration of the marketplaces. Out of box, you can fetch what copyright your NFT has. On top of it, we are looking forward to the integrating native rep assets like through the Werto and exchanging them for you. So for users, you just need to pay with their native assets. Now, Victor, from here, you will show how the PermaFrost works.
Yeah, thanks, Matej, for an awesome intro. And we know that showing is always better than telling. So let's watch a short demo. So as you see on the screen, here I have the NFT gallery. And we're going to mint the PermaFrost logo directly on the Arweave. So all I need to choose is the image, some name, symbol, description. And I also add some text like NFT, so it could be searchable right from the Arweave. And yeah, now let's mint it. And as you can see, PermaFrost gateway is super fast. It's already pinned. And we're just waiting for the finalization of the Kusama network. Yeah. And what's really good about using PermaFrost, that as a response from the PermaFrost gateway, we'll get a nicely formatted JSON, fully compliant with metadata, with the OpenSea metadata standard. And yeah, as a result, we'll see that we minted our NFT on the Kusama directly using PermaFrost with anything. So there are 3 operations on the PermaFrost gateway. First is reading, and it will be a massive amount of reading requests for the PermaFrost gateway. Then gateway has to use a metadata storage. And then there will be a lot of surge operations, which will be regular but light for the infrastructure. And for these operations, anyone who will run PermaFrost will be rewarded in profit sharing tokens. So what's our plan? First of all, in upcoming weeks, we will have user testing. So first testers will give us proper feedback, what could be done better. We already have requests for implementing Arweave folders, so mass minting. Then we will develop SDK for developers, which will be later used for the hackathon. And then we'll, as Matej said, implement the Verto so users can pay with anything, like literally anything, ETH or Kusama. And who we are co-founders of Codedot, the open source NFT explorer on Kusama.Network, and we are currently using IPFS and Arweave to store metadata. And both of us are coming from the technical background, so we know the pain when developers has to deal with badly written code. To sum it up, using PermaFrost, NFT galleries can save a lot of JPEGs bundled with the metadata permanently using Arweave. And using profit sharing community, we can make this sustainable. And one little thing, we'll be minting PermaFrost NFTs for attendees of this Arweave demo. So yeah, come to our booth and take it while it lasts. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Victor and Matej. Out of curiosity, how many NFTs are we talking about here?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we've been minting something around the 40 pieces, or 42 exactly. Yes, actually, stop by in our booth. So first come, first served, like limited frozen NFT edition. So looking forward. So like maybe just a few blocks ahead of the conference.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm sure that that's going to be very popular. Thanks again. Next up, let's move to a different area. And let's introduce and welcome Anthony. Anthony, thank you very much for joining us all the way from Australia. I know that it's super, I guess, late and early for you at the same time. Thanks for being awake at this time there. And you're trying to solve a really fundamental problem in the way that science is, I guess, validated and the way that scientific publications work. So we can see your slides. Why don't you take it away?
Cool, thanks, Seb. So introducing the Rosetta protocol, the source of truth for open science. Unfortunately, today, science has failed us. So who is this ugly man that you're looking at? Meet Andrew Wakefield. He brilliantly published a paper that was accepted into one of the most prestigious journals, The Lancet, that told the world that MMR vaccines cause autism. MMR vaccine hesitancy rose through the roof. The threshold that needed to be met to stop the spread of the virus dropped well below because of the vaccine hesitancy, and the virus started spreading throughout society. The vaccine autism myth is still going strong today, and we can thank and attribute Andrew and The Lancet with the needless deaths of hundreds of people for that. Now, this isn't an isolated incident. Nature published a study that showed over 60% of papers today couldn't be replicated. Is it even science if falsification can't be done? Over 14% of scientists know someone that has committed academic fraud, and peer review is taking over 14 weeks in most cases because traditional journals struggle to keep up with the volume of knowledge being produced. And it's only exponentially increasing today. What chance do we have if the most brilliant minds of the world are admitting to not being objectively truthful because that's what everyone else is just doing to get ahead? To solve this, we've built a Sybil-resistant peer-to-peer social network on top of a protocol for truthful open science. The open platform enables a new global co-op for authors to own and earn the rewards that are produced for the knowledge commons today. The average paper published to the network earns the authors $1,000 per year in Rosetta tokens. To kick things off, we've already mapped the Microsoft academic knowledge graph with our impact score algorithm for 270 million authors that can go and claim their rewards and profile today. You can see that we've mapped humanity's knowledge graph on your screen. Similar to how BitClout mapped 15,000 Twitter authors. That's cute. But we've mapped 270 million authors with their ongoing rewards sitting ready, and 136 million papers that are ready to earn the owner's productive yield when we launch. The Rosetta protocol bakes in the scientific method and puts guarantees around truthful science built for the information age. Rosetta introduces a number of mechanisms to achieve the objective function of the network, which is to maximize the supply of quality, truthful knowledge, with the three participants in the network being authors, validators, and funders. To give authors ownership in the network, they get rewarded with Rosetta tokens by publishing quality knowledge that can be reproduced, aka truthful, meaning they have to publish open access with all the research outputs attached for the first time. Otherwise, they don't earn rewards. If authors publish a mistake, they lose some of the reward. If they commit academic fraud, they lose their stake, rewards, and their public reputation. Authors are free to choose to work on solving any problem from our marketplace to earn rewards. Anyone can choose to sponsor an interesting author and share in the rewards they win. To ensure quality and truthfulness, validators earn Rosetta tokens by replicating papers and attempting falsification. They can scan every paper published to the network for fraud and mistakes. If there are any disputes, it goes before a democratic arbitration process managed fairly by reputable authors. Now it's not whether knowledge is peer-reviewed, but whether it replicates. To optimize the right problems being solved for, funders are able to post any research question and stake against it to incentivize authors to compete to solve it and win the stake. Now working backwards from the problems people want to solve instead of today's broken funding mechanism. In return for allocating capital, they share the future rights to the IP with the winning authors. Funders can then directly bet on teams of authors that are attempting to solve for the research questions set and win the stakes attached, similar to the functions of a prediction market by attempting to bet on the winning team. Every research question and team of authors are DAOs that use Arweave's governance for fair, equitable outcomes. The key to making Rosetta work is the new mechanism to measure quality called Impact Score that distributes block rewards. It's the future standard for impact. It's a personalized PageRank algorithm that measures the weight of co-authors and citations at the time of publication. By measuring the weight of a co-author, it unlocks the ability to have hundreds of co-authors all sharing rewards fairly for their contribution. And by measuring the influence a citation has, it unlocks the ability to fairly measure citations from any medium now, such as code sets, blogs, that are usually forgotten because they all used to carry the same weight. Because Impact Score measures citations, we created open markets for papers to measure quality before citations accrue using the wisdom of the crowd. Every paper that is published creates a profit-sharing token, aka a paper token, which unlocks the ability for authors to earn passive income for contributing to the comments. They can choose to sell them to the crowd or hold on to them for their pathway to wealth. Anyone can purchase paper tokens from the market in anticipation of capital gains when you see quality before anyone else, and earn yield as well as when citations accrue. This incentivizes the crowd to scan for papers for quality and bet on winners with all the information freely available. The novel use cases are endless with an asset base of quality knowledge authors. Social media platforms can use the open APIs to read the state of a claim or paper that's being distributed to help stop the spread of misinformation. New markets form, such as for instantaneous expert evidence from a collective of experts, instead of just one hand-selected person that can take courts weeks and thousands of dollars, all whilst risking bias in a fair democratic process. Because all papers are machine readable, we unlock the ability for AI to provide autonomous guidance and recommendations to authors. So who are we? I'm the founder of Coddy, a personal 8-figure investment fund focusing on promoting open societies. Before that, I previously ran growth at QuantStamp, helping to take them from 0 to 2.5 million in 3 months. Simon was a lead data scientist at Grab Singapore, where he's in charge of Grab's transport agent simulation project. Prior to that, he worked in academia, having written 39 papers and awarded 2 patents. We've got the Web3 and academic experience to get the job done. So Rosetta's on a mission to accelerate the production of quality, truthful knowledge. The history of humanity is littered with failed civilizations that didn't produce enough knowledge to overcome the challenges facing them. Authors need a home to publish humanity's truthful knowledge that can never be burnt down and realign attention towards the problems that matter most to society. We started 3 weeks ago and have built out all our mechanisms and algorithms that you can read in our Gitbook, as well as an MVP that any one of the 270 million authors can go and search how much rewards they're earning a year for their past papers. and claim their profile on their site for ongoing passive income. We're about to start raising a seed round, so come say hello, and we're always hiring quality talent. Thanks.
Amazing, Anthony. I think that you'll notice in the chat a lot of interest. And so folks, come talk to Anthony after the presentation. Look for his table. He'll be happy to engage. Alrighty, next up, we have Axel from Argora. Argora is a full on-chain social network born during the Open Web Foundry. So Axel, how's it going, man?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm very, very happy to be here.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. So we can see your slides. Go for it.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. I am Axel Tiger, and I'm here to introduce you to Argora, a social network living on Arweave. On the sun, everybody hear me, right?
Yep.
On the centralized web, as we know, social media companies arbitrarily decide their content policies without users having any voice in the matter, even though platform users are the value drivers for these companies. So this situation gives a feeling of unfairness and leads to general confusion about information authenticity. So for example, Facebook recently ended the ban on posts asserting COVID-19 was man-made, but about 18 months ago, it wasn't possible to express this eventual side of the story. So this is a disturbing example of a centralized control over a global event narrative. And I hear like something is disconnecting. Is it all okay? Seb?
Yeah, you're all good. Just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this currently affects around 4.5 billion social network users in the Web 2. So that's a lot of users. So I decided to build Argora on Arweave 6 weeks ago because of its unique properties, which allow content to be uncensorable by default. So from there, content management will have to follow on-chain consensus mechanisms that were not possible before. And everyone should be free to say anything while being accountable for their opinion as part of society. What governs our freedom of speech are traditionally the laws of our respective country. But Argora, by essence, is an on-chain alternative that removes some of the potential corruptibilities of that model. So as an alpha version, Argora comes with a simple UI that takes advantage of the Arweave protocol. It aims to show the underlying mechanisms of the Web3 powered by Arweave and aggregate all the technologies already built on the ecosystem to provide a social platform for everyone. The goal of Argora is to enable and accompany the new properties from the Web3 so communities and societies can organize and share information in a transparent way with an immutable history. So let me show you how it works. I go on argora.xyz and I click on launch application to get to the last version of Argora. Here is the MetaWave. So the MetaWave is the global timeline where you can see everything in real time that is posted on Argora. On the top, you can see the search bar planet. So a planet has its own timeline. You can see this as an equivalent of a channel on Discord or a Facebook group. And I deliberately choose a neutral name so it stays open to be defined by the community in the future. And since we are going to be a galactic civilization pretty soon, I just decided to call it Planet. So if you click on someone's avatar, you can see their personal timeline, what they posted everywhere on Argora. And here is the profile data that is provided by Virtual ID. That is Virtual ID provided by Virtual Exchange. So it's what I call an on-chain collaboration. It's another permanent piece of technology that is on Arweave right now. So finally, if you want to come and join us on Argora right now, you can do it. You just need to click on login and log in with your Rconnect wallet. And here you are, ready to go. You can weave something in here. So currently, Argora supports posts, replies, and images. In the coming months, we will be focusing on 2 key areas: developing the product and thinking about how to acquire users. The approach I will follow to work on these 2 topics will be community-driven. We want to work together with you to learn about the user behavior and continuously build the product around that. At this time, there are still many paths to explore. The focus on Argora now is to keep the user experience smooth and reactive while incrementally adding features that help users interacting with each other and own the platform until the beta release. The beta version is planned to be released in about 2 to 3 months from this day. This being a live community-driven project, we are looking for you to get involved with Argora, so together we can shape what the future of decentralized social networks on Arweave will look like. Any version of Argora is permanently stored on Arweave, and each version aims to stay compatible with the former one. So what you can share with us today on Argora.xyz is truly there forever. And here I am, Axel, by the title on the internet, full stack developer, Linux lover, early crypto adopter, and today founder of Argora. I hope you found this as interesting as we do. Check Argora and come to meet me at the Mingle area. I would love to chat with you. Thank you.
Awesome presentation, Axel. And I really like the community-driven approach. I think that that's the right way of building this. So please go and meet Axel afterwards. Alrighty. Last but by no means least, we have Richard. Richard, you're going to be presenting Akord. And Akord offers digital time capsule where basically you and your family can preserve your heritage over generations and also share messages there. So how's it going, Richard?
Hey, Seb, thanks for having us. Really excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we can see your presentation, so go for it.
All right, let's get started. So welcome to the Social Vault. This is where people, privacy, and permanence come together to ensure your digital heritage. So what exactly does that mean? Well, there's a particular problem that we're all trying to figure out. We all have thousands of files holding personal photos, writings, video recordings, music, and other digital files spread out across different devices and service providers. But the thing is, hard drives crash, cloud storage requires endless monthly payments, and will they still be in business next year, in 10 years, or in 100 years? Ultimately, any type of storage system intended to span generations cannot be dependent on a trusted third party or hardware repairs and updates. So how do we preserve all of these digital valuables for our family and future generations, not for decades, but for centuries? Our answer is Akord's Social Vault, a secure digital time capsule where you and your family can store and share assets privately and permanently. So permanent data storage is inherently social. If you want to store something forever, beyond your lifetime, it's because you believe it has value for someone else. So that's why we built the vault with a number of collaboration features, including invites, notifications, and messaging. We make it very easy for you to invite your family members, preserve a chat history that spans generations, and keep updated on all the activity within that vault. All the while, everything in your vault is end-to-end encrypted. So now you can ditch email as well as cloud storage when it comes to managing your digital valuables. So let's just look at a couple numbers here. So if you look at the number of cloud service providers that do not encrypt data at rest, we're looking at 91%, exposing your most private data over the years. And if we look at the cloud storage market size, it's 50 billion now and expected to rise to 220 billion. So this is a very hot market. And if we go back to the physical devices, 20% of external hard drives fail after 3 years. So personally, I don't know if mine make it past 2. So let's look at a quick demo. But before we jump in, I just want to give a quick note. We've actually had the app in production since March, building out and testing all of the foundational features that you would expect, such as signups, invites, permissions, etc. But what we'll look at now is just the main parts of the app with the focus on how we work to integrate Arweave. So let me just run this really quick. So this is an actual family vault for my co-founder, Pascal. His family was really keen on preserving artifacts from their family, so he set up this family vault. And as you can see, there's been some messaging and uploading of files and some memoirs from his grandmother and some pictures of ID cards and such from his family. So this is all conveniently set up and protected in the vault. Now we're going to see Pascal go ahead and add a new artifact to his vault. So as we all know, he searches for his file, clicks on it, uploads it. We review the size and the storage that will be used on the Arweave network. We upload the file, and you can see here that we have a little orange dot around one of the files. This is an indicator that the transaction is still pending. So meaning that we've cached the file on our server encrypted, and now we're moving it to the Arweave network, and we handle all of the backend stuff for you. Now let's go over to the storage tab. Here you can see a breakdown of your files, what kind of file types you have stored. On the right, you can see the status. So the file that we just uploaded is currently pending, but if we go to one of the green check marks, we can see that actual transaction on the Arweave blockchain, as well as the metadata that we've included for searching down the road. And finally, we just got a notice. We can do the top up, which makes it very convenient to buy storage on the Arweave network. Here you just simply use your credit card, select the amount of storage you would like, and pay for it. And we also contribute 1% of that to offsetting carbon. And finally, we have just received a note here, so you can kind of see the interactive elements of the social vault. So one of his family members just responded to a previous message. So now, what I'd like to present here is, so now that we're in a very strong position to scale the product, we are excited to announce the launch of our campaign today, which is 1,000 for 1,000. We're offering 1,000 megabytes of permanent storage on the Arweave network to the next 1,000 users who sign up for Akord. That's $32,000 worth of storage that we're offering for free. As Akord is designed to be a social interactive platform, we envision this initial boost will help us quickly realize a network effect, bringing on many, many, many thousands of users to the Arweave network. I just want to kind of go over our roadmap, where we came from. Our first phase was actually building out the social vault and building all the encryption layers and rotating keys and things like that. Second phase is where we found a great match with the Arweave blockchain, and that's where we integrated that technology into our platform. And now, working forward, we are going to be focusing on decentralizing Akord completely. That is decentralizing the data, decentralizing the application, and decentralizing the business model. So that will take us into things like the Akord Explorer and the PermaWeb galleries, which will allow you to access your data on the Arweave network perpetually. And because the PermaWeb galleries is open source, the community will be able to fork it and tailor it to specific needs that include different kinds of media types and viewing experiences. Next, we'll be focusing on building on-ramps from Facebook, simply because everyone hates Facebook and there's no better alternative. So what we'll allow you to do is bring over your photo galleries and your groups of people and family members from Facebook onto the social vault. Next, we'll be upgrading our Akord wallet to support direct AR token payments. And we'll be integrating multi-sig transactions that will allow you to manage the transfer of assets, such as NFTs and things like that within your family vault. And finally, wrapping everything up, we'll be decentralizing the company, and that's a big project that we want to tackle strategically. So it's really important that we ensure that this product is a multi-generational product. So we are based in Paris. We're a small team. We're driven by the principles of data ownership, human-centered design, privacy, and crypto technologies. Pascal and I have been working together for many years at my previous company, and Veronica joined us about 1.5 years ago from IBM. We also have a couple guys who are both in New York and Poland, Alex in New York, and we have Michal in Poland helping us out with the technology stack. So I would like to thank you for your time. If you would like to know more about Akord, there's no better way than to just try it for yourself. Currently, it costs about $30 to store 1 gig on Arweave, so make sure you sign up, get your free gigabyte, sign up at app.akord.com, and come talk to us in the Mingle area. I think the whole team is online, and we'd be happy to answer questions. Thank you, Seb and Jess, and thank you everyone for checking it out.
Thank you very much, Richard. Super cool. And yeah, I mean, you saw it, folks, so many goodies and so many gifts. So I don't want to hold you up from snatching those sweet, sweet NFTs and those gigs, free gigs. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We'll see you in the Mingle area, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Open Web Foundry. See you later. Bye.